The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic and Printmasters.
From above. Them say all people are some cold people, but all people are the golden people. Them say all people are some cold people, but manners carry through the world. Them say all people are some cold people, but all people are the golden people. Them say all people are some cold people. Respect the elders.
And welcome to another edition of Guardian Radio Today here on 96.9. Fresh news, smart talk all day. My name is Kahun Anku Sarah, also known as Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Enes III. And we're happy to have you here on another Tuesday. We'll be with you up until the 4 o'clock hour. Look like a little bit of breeze blowing today. It's still a little hot, but, you know, some of us must be going to lunch today. It wasn't too hot. I'm grateful. Before we dive into today's show, I just want to remind you that Guardian Radio and the Guardian Media Group want to send you away for the summer with the Great Summer Escape Giveaway. You could win a trip for two, including hotel, car, luggage, and $1,000 cash. All you need is a passport. Just get a Nassau Guardian newspaper, fill out the entry form, drop it in the entry box at the Nassau Guardian in Oaksfield, and tune in to Guardian Radio and follow the Nassau Guardian on all social media platforms for your chances to win. So the Guardian Media Group Great Summer Escape Giveaway is still possible, people. The deadline to enter is August 12th, and the drawing is August 14th. Today we have another great show lined up for you, a special guest in studio. And before I introduce them, or allow them to introduce themselves, every month I have decided on my show to have a show that represents the diaspora. And that show could range from anywhere from migration to the social ills or whatever it is that may be the flavor of the day. But today, we have two special guests in studio, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. They've been here before. One actually was here a little earlier. My brother Luby, let everybody know your name and your titles, etc., etc.
Titles.
Yeah.
Working on getting some more.
Yes.
But Luby Georges.
Yes.
Bahamian,
yes,
of Haitian descent.
Yes.
I'm always proud to say that.
Yes.
I never put the Haitian before Bahamian.
Never.
And even though we play semantics with that sort of thing, but, Bahamian, respect my roots and, the passage ones had to go through in order for a person like myself to be born here.
Yeah.
I try to lend my voice to some of the social issues that we have in the country.
Yeah.
Supporting all of the noble causes that exist. People know me for a particular area, but however, if you check many of the civic organizations around town, they would say that and consider myself an ally.
Yeah.
Because I work with them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Right now, an immigration consultant.
Yes.
Again, not with the Department of Immigration.
Right.
But I am an immigration consultant, and that's what I do full time right now.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. And our other guest, my good brother Ian Mora. These guests of mine, and why I have them here, they wear many hats. That's why I'm allowing them to introduce themselves. And brother Ian, introduce yourself for the people who may not know who you are, please.
Okay, good. Ian Mora. Because of the locks, not much hats could fit. So they call me many locks,
Yes. I like that one.
But principal of program show, I was on the radio earlier this morning. member of Ubuntu, the percussion band, still a member of Genesis, Junkanoo Group, Come With Me.
Yes.
I'm a member of the Rastafari community, member of the Indaba Project, which is a local grassroots nonprofit organization here. And my two favorite jobs is the father of 4 children and a wife who is very understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my two favorite jobs.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, listen,
Husband
before
and
you go
wife,
on,
yeah. Hey, go ahead,
Anku,
man.
I would like to publicly announce and in your presence that I'm now a proud member of the Genesis Junkanoo Group
What?
There you
community
go.
What is
organization.
going on? I'm being ambushed today.
Yes, hold up yourself. Yes, my good friend Angelique.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, that's good people right
She
there,
was
man.
just on the radio this
Yeah,
morning, too.
that's great people right there, man. Listen, I've gotten to know Angelique over the years.
Yeah.
I think one of my first experiences was with Angelique, who is one of our, I would consider, cultural icons.
Yeah.
And persons that take Bahamian culture around the world.
Yeah.
You know, with the Junkanoo Commandos and things like that, you know, pushing within the orange economy. Was she on talking about that this morning? Because I heard
so,
something
yes,
about the
yes.
orange economy. You know, one of my first experiences with her was actually in Haiti.
Really?
Yeah, we did a road trip in Haiti, and that's where I got to meet her. And, you know, we really bonded then through a mutual friend. 2 years ago, I was in Ghana, Africa, for about 10 days.
Wow.
The entire trip and experience was, you know, designed and operated by her. So that was the best travel experience I've ever had in my life. And I've been... The four
around.
corners of this globe, I can tell you I've traveled. I've been to places like Sochi, Russia, where I've met President Vladimir Putin in
Really?
person.
Wow.
And had a conversation with him.
Wow.
You know, met President Obama in Peru.
Okay.
You know, so I've been
You've
all
been
over.
around,
I've been
really.
around, but I can tell you that the trip to Ghana was nothing, you know, nothing compares to it.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah, but nonetheless, happy to be, you know, a member now of the Genesis Community Organization.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I am a member of one family since we all telling our Junkanoo affiliation.
I still got Saxons in my heart, though.
Yeah. Well, all of we is one family. You know what I mean?
Way to plug it in.
Yeah, we got one more guest that's on the way coming upstairs. But, you know, the diaspora, when we talk about, and I think it's a good place, I'm happy you all brought up Junkanoo because that is one of the, I think we could all agree, that's one of the glues, if that's a word, right? One of the things in our community that kind of brings us all together, whether you are whether you were born here as a Bahamian, whether you are a Bahamian who has Jamaican roots, Haitian roots, Greek roots, Canadian roots, that somehow Junkanoo is a stage where we can all almost, I don't want to say you put down who you are, but you are included. Mm-hmm. You are included. And using that as kind of a frame of reference for how we are socializing in our society today. We have a lot of social ills. You know, we have a WhatsApp group that, you know, it gets lively at times, right? Where we talk about the different social ills. Yeah, we have one more guest coming through. It's right over here, my brother. And one of the purposes of this show is to have conversations that allow for varying perspectives of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, right? So without further ado, I want to introduce our another guest here. That's your mic right there, brother. You introduce yourself. Everybody introduce themselves. Again, this is another person who wears many hats, and I want to put your headphones on there for me, please, because I want to make sure that you introduce the people, introduce yourself to the people the way that yourself, my brother.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. It's Cleaver Duncan.
Normally we hear him on the phone.
My African name, though I haven't changed much, is Duke Duncombe.
Okay. Excellent. And so Cleaver, just to kind of catch you up on the conversation, the conversation started out with Junkanoo, And that's kind of where we're starting, and then we're going to move into migration, illegal immigration, crime, wherever the conversation takes us, right? But why I think the ancestors had us start with Junkanoo is because it is a place where we can all ultimately bring whatever aspect of who we are to Bay Street or wherever Junkanoo is happening in order for us to make this thing work, right? This beautiful country, the Bahamas, which, some people would say, it's an experiment. I've heard people say America is an experiment. And they've been around 250 years. Mm-hmm. We only been around for 53 years. You understand? There are many things that we have to work towards in terms of making this country be what it could be. And I think at the end of the day, even though we may have our varying perspectives, we all want what's best for the country. Yes? And so I wanna start out with a reality that we're facing in our schools right now. We're going to be bringing in, or there's the potential to bring in upwards of 300 teachers from Ghana into the country. And, of course, there are many different layers of concern when you start talking about bringing in anybody from outside of your country to fill in positions. But for me, I want to talk about the fact that I've said it many times on my shows. The Bahamas is a country that has an aging population, and we need help with regard to filling certain posts. We've always needed help. Some of the great names that we know in education were not Bahamians, right? R.M. Bailey is from Barbados. My grandmother, Muriel Enius, who was the principal at St. Anne's for many years, she's from Savannah, Georgia. And there's a list of many great educators that came here. There was a time when you had people we needed our armed forces to be beefed up. You had a lot of people from Barbados, even Jamaica, that came in here to help us, right? Even the father of the nation, Sir Lyndon Pinland, his father was Jamaican, right? That being the case, fast forward now to 2026, we see, as one of our guests here, Cleaver Duncombe always says, man, our schools are filled with more than just Bahamians. Yes, we have a Haitian population that we ultimately we're helping because they are in our schools, they're in our healthcare system. Haitians aren't the only ones. Jamaicans are here as well. That's on one end of the spectrum. On another end of the spectrum, you have what people refer to as expats, who have jobs in, for example, our top tier sectors of tourism and finance. And we don't really hear much about how they affect our reality here in the country. How many jobs are the expats holding on to that Bahamians could potentially have, right? How much income are they sending out of the country as much as maybe a Haitian or a Jamaican is sending out of the country? These are the things that we want to talk about today. And so the numbers here, 323-6232, 325-316, 325-4259. In the family of 242-300-5720. Of course, that's toll free. And the Guardian Radio text line is powered by BTC. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates to apply at radio.com. As well as you can check us out on Cable Bahamas channel 969 or BTC Flow channel 612. All right. So I want to start with you, Cleaver. You call in often. You're an activist. You're somebody who has been fighting for the rights of fathers, the rights of children, etc., in this country, and you're passionate about what you do, and I think you're good at what you do. Where do you see us as a country right now, from your perspective, in terms of dealing with some of the things that you would see as potential problems, or things that we need to focus on to ultimately fix our country? Some of the solutions. What say you?
Well, before I answer that, just let me qualify, my position.
Sure.
Lest I be accused of being xenophobic.
That's important.
When that maiden ship left Africa to start that transatlantic slave trade, there were no Bahamians on board.
Yes.
There were no Haitians on board.
Yes.
Jamaicans, Trinidadians. They were all Africans.
Yes.
But I thank God that my ancestors ended up in the Bahamas, which happens to be neighbors of one of the most powerful country on the planet.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the most powerful country on the planet, the United States of America. But when I look at what is going on in terms of immigration, crime, etc., one can easily conclude that we are headed towards nowhere. I believe in systematic approach to anything.
Right.
I believe in common sense issue, bringing solutions to common sense solutions to address deep social ills, financial ills. But I'll say it like this. Back in the 30s, 20s, early 1900s, when the U.S. had a staffing issue in terms of employment, needing employment, they had a systematic approach. We call it the contract days.
Right.
But all it was a work exchange program.
Yeah.
And the template was already there in terms of what we need to do if we want to encourage migration or persons to come into the country to work, to seek gainful employment. But for whatever reason, we allowed this thing, we allowed a lot of other things to cloud our minds. Hence, we have what we have now. School shortage, classroom spaces, lack of classroom spaces, lack of bed spaces, lack of jobs, opportunities to the disadvantage of Bahamians. And then some may argue that we had unmitigated migration for voting purpose, to create a new voting bloc, et cetera, et cetera. But when you look at it, it's all good. I have a grandson now. I'm a papa now.
All right, Papa.
Old man now, But I have to look out for what is the best interest of him and many other children who his age and generations yet unborn. We have to be sensible in what we are doing. And, when you talk about immigration or illegal migration, the first thing comes to mind is people start to target the Haitians, But that isn't my objective. Luby, I have the greatest respect for Luby. And he has some strong opinions. I have some strong opinions, but I attack the message. I don't have to go after the individual. If you have a problem with Luby's opinion or my opinion, then let's debate it.
Let's deal with the opinion.
Let's deal with the opinion.
You have to talk to the person.
You don't have to. I don't believe in character assassination or what have you. Even though sometimes people tend to do it to me, but who cares? But my thing is, we have a crisis in the country. Whether some may want to admit it or not, we have a crisis.
Okay.
Because when you have Bahamians, taxpaying Bahamians, having to lay out on a gurney in order to see doctor, that's a crisis. When you have students, my daughter's an educator. As a matter of fact, she was teaching from she was 20.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I have other relatives who are involved in education.
Yeah.
And based on what they told me, they say if you remove all of the children of Haitian descent and Jamaicans, and their classroom space would be empty. So schools would be empty.
So the Bahamians are opting to go to the private schools. Is that the position, or we just don't have Bahamian children to fill the schools? What is being said exactly?
Well, basically, what it is I wouldn't say we don't have Bahamian people to fill schools, but there are schools. It isn't structured. For example, you have kids who live in Golden Gate Street in Carmichael. Because of lack of classroom space, they now have to go elsewhere, miles away from out of their community.
That's what you're saying.
You know,
Okay.
that shouldn't happen.
I got you.
It never should happen. I believe that the Bahamas is for Bahamians first. I make no apologies for that.
Right.
Everyone else, they're here through invitation. But we have to do it systematically. Before you even talk about bringing in people, you have to first have a dialogue with the Public Health Authority, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Works, to make sure we have the capacity to sustain what we are bringing in. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it seems like it makes sense.
You know, but we're not doing it. What we need to do is to scrutinize every work permit before you even, if I were Minister of Immigration, before I even dream about giving out one work permit, I need to do a proper audit in terms of to see who we are.
Right.
And to justify their existence being here. See if they're justifying their existence. All of these things need to be done first. You just can't be just giving these things out at random and without any type of understanding on what you're dealing with. That's why we have the backlog. That's why we have this bottleneck situation in so many different areas. And
we're going to come back
You
to
know?
it. I want to get our other guests into the conversation. Brother Luby, you're an immigration consultant. You see immigration every day. That is, I would argue, you are an expert in many ways. Yeah. What are you seeing with regard to immigration?
Well, I hear Cleveland. I would not disagree in saying that his position is totally wrong.
Right.
Proper preparations, knowing who's here, proper planning, of course, needs to happen.
Yeah.
But in the way that it is presented, in my opinion, it suggests that, for example, the Department of Immigration is unaware of how many of these persons, migrants, no matter what their background or ethnicity may be. That is how I'm receiving it. Where I think the breakdown may come from is the fact that we don't have that interconnectability and interconnection between various government agencies.
Intra-government.
Yes, everybody is operating in their own silos.
Right.
And I think that is where the breakdown comes from, and that is why, you know, there is not this systematic approach to planning the infrastructure and planning the schools and the clinics and placing them in the proper areas and that sort of thing. I will give you an example. I've seen over the past year or two countless individuals born here, grew up here, schooled here all their lives, went through the processes the proper way, became sworn in as Bahamian citizens, has their naturalization certificate. And I'm not talking about people who consciously made a decision to migrate to the Bahamas. I'm talking about persons who were born here, all right, whom the Constitution makes provisions for to become Bahamian citizens. After becoming a Bahamian citizen, they're able to then go to NIB and the passport office to apply for certain documents to satisfy the next level of applications to receive their actual passport. You go to the passport office, they say you need to have the NIB card first. You go down to NIB, you know what they're telling you?
You need a passport.
You need a passport to get the NIB card. So you see where the breakdown is?
Yeah.
These persons are going through this process at the Department of
And
Immigration.
without a passport and NIB, you're marginalized.
You would think that after being approved and you got this naturalization certificate, which is a bona fide legal government issued document, that maybe they should be the ones to send a copy down to the passport office. And once you arrive at NIB, they should be able to pull you up and see that, yes, okay, we're satisfied because the vetting and investigations have been done. This person was approved, they were sworn in, they paid their fees, and that part of the process is done. So we're up next. So we should be in place and ready to assist this process to go along, and so that it can be done the right way. So once again, I think it is kind of myopic to assume that the Department of Immigration, for the most part, and by extension the government, is unaware of how many persons we have here, especially as it relates to work permits. And on the work permit front, many of us, we sit on the outside and we do not know how rigorous it is to apply. We don't know how rigorous it is to receive an approval or even a renewal. Just today before coming here, there was a repatriation exercise.
Okay.
And I saw a news clip with the new Minister of Immigration, Mr. Darren Pickstock. And he basically said that what they're seeing is a lot of persons are overstaying their renewals. And he was encouraging the sponsors or employers to ensure that you apply for the renewals on time. Because if you don't apply on time, whether it be a day or two over, because they do allow for you to apply, let's say a month ahead, right? Make your preparations beforehand. So if you overstay, even if it's a day, and immigration, questions you on the road, you may have this work permit but expired from yesterday or last week, but you gone.
Wow.
And they're taking them to court. They're being fined. Wow. After being fined, then the deportation order, and they're sent to D.C. and then sent back home. And those persons are placed on the restricted list. So those persons can't receive a tourist visa, not to even attend a family member's funeral or wedding. When they, let's just say by happenstance, they were to receive a tourist visa or something of that sort, when they arrive at the airport, they're not landed. They're taken straight to the detention center, and a day or two later, they're sent home. So there's a lot that the immigration department is doing that I hear people calling for on talk shows and seeing on social media, but the Department of Immigration is actually doing these things.
Right.
Just as the U.S., they're now publicizing their deportation exercises. I think because people are crying out so much and asking for it, they're now doing it.
Wow. Well, I want to get Brother Ian Moore in here, who is the principal over at the Shaw, and it's not academy, it's a program, right? What are you seeing in your space? Are you seeing mostly Bahamians? Is it a mix of different nationalities? What are you seeing in your space over at Program Shaw?
Before I get to Program
Shaw. Okay.
Whenever African people move, wherever they move to, that place develops. When we first left Africa and we went into Europe and India and we met with the Neanderthals and we mixed with them, they were able to develop exponentially more. When the Africans crossed the Atlantic on their own conditions, there's still evidence of the development that happened. A difference between African perspective is Mansa Musa, who is still considered one of the richest men to ever live. On his travel to Mecca, unlike the rich that we see now, who take away opportunities, hoard everything, hoard land, when Mansa Musa moved, there was development to the point where he gave out so much gold that the price of gold in the world, the value of gold in the world dropped.
Wow.
So there are examples upon examples. Let's talk about in Europe. They just had the World Cup. They might call that the Africa Cup.
That's right.
You might as well call that the Africa Cup.
Yeah.
And competition at FIFA has gotten to a higher level.
That's right.
The more African people get involved. So that's my premise.
Yeah. I like it.
Wherever we African people go, there is development.
Yeah, no matter what nationality you may place on us.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Right here in these islands of the Bahamas and in the Caribbean, before they brought us, they brought Europeans.
Yep.
They didn't see the level of development. They brought Chinese. They didn't see the level of development that they saw, and they brought in Africans. Even when they used the people who were native to these lands, they still didn't see the level of development that they saw when they brought in the Africans. As a result of Africans being involved in colonialism, not just in Africa, but in these areas, Spain became rich, which they were unable to sustain. France became rich, which now they are begging for assistance, basically. England became rich. And so the world has gotten developed based on us.
Yes.
Even though we have not reaped the rewards like others have. So wherever we go, there is development.
Yes.
And I say that to say to knock this idea that people are implying, kind of pushing, that the movement of African people leads to falling back.
Right, degradation.
That's not the real history of what happens when African people move. Now, as far as what I'm seeing in program show, which is not, I deal with a specific demographic of students. So I couldn't say that translate. I couldn't do it as a counterpoint to what Cleaver is saying.
Right.
All right? I don't see the majority of Haitian descent children. There is a growing number of them, or there is a number of them. They are a part of it, but the majority of the students that I see are Bahamian.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, I'm not a party to this idea that some for me and some for you, and by you coming here, it's going to lead to things falling apart. The issues that both of you spoke to were actually issues of underdevelopment. And it's because we copied the colonial system. If we look at the UK, they're suffering the same thing after all centuries of free gold, free diamonds.
I know, right?
Free everything.
Get all the marbles.
They had free everything, and they wasted that basically to where now British people are becoming homeless.
Wow.
British, they actually have a task force in the UK to go around and collect debts because people aren't paying them.
Wow.
So the underdevelopment that you see, it's not an immigrant problem. It is a borrowing from individuals and staying using the value system of those individuals who didn't really build. They just took resources and hoarded it for themselves. And so their thinking would be, as we have done, so too will be done to us. And so they have a fear of the African coming into their spaces. Notice even with the great United States, it's not everyone. While they are deporting black and brown people, they are importing whites from South Africa. So, like, we how we frame the discussion is very important. And if we're operating within the framework that they use to talk about their perspective of it, then of course we African people, like, this has been going on for centuries. Whenever we use values, their values about our hair has no value. Their values about our history has no value. Every time we use their values and apply them to us, in the at most, a small minority of us benefit. And I hear that in a lot of the anti-immigrant, this discussion about who benefits and who doesn't benefit, and really and truly, that's why I don't really get in it.
Yeah.
Because of how it's framed, we as African people are naturally disadvantaged.
Yeah, we can be at the bottom of the totem pole no matter what. Yeah.
Even if we talk about systematic versus non-systematic. When they brought in the Irish, that wasn't systematic. They showed up. When the Protestants came, that wasn't systematic.
No.
They showed up. They just showed up, and they made sense of it because this was their plan, and they saw the benefits of doing those things. They saw the benefits of having Irish imported, the Italians imported, and even though the Italians brought in crime, they still saw a value in them coming in, because now what do they boast before now? America is a melting pot of culture. And so that immigration did not lead to America falling back. That immigration led towards America advancing itself. But now we're dealing with a time where around the world, the top 1%, let's call them, are requiring more. All these companies are requiring more. And what that means is it's having an impact on the everyday person.
Yeah.
The everyday person doesn't have access to those individuals, but they have access to the everyday immigrant that they are seeing. And so your frustration has to go somewhere.
Just misplaced anger, yes.
Your frustration has to go somewhere.
Powerful
And
opening
water
statement.
falls downhill.
Exactly. Powerful opening statements by everybody here. We're going to get to the phone lines when we get back here on Guardian Radio today. Keep it locked.
People, them say all people are some cold people. Respect the elders who set the foundation and give it advice. And the old people, them who give it the knowledge, make the nation get wiser. The old people, them.
Wendy's is spicing things up this summer with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. A hot, juicy beef patty topped with spicy jalapenos, creamy ranch sauce, melted cheese, and fresh toppings for the perfect balance of cool and spicy. Every bite brings bold flavor that keeps you coming back for more. Turn up the flavor with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger at Wendy's today. Available for a limited time only.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Budgeting and saving? Yes. Investing? Check. But what if you could do more? With an RF brokerage account, you can get priority access to local investment opportunities right as they come to the market. Never miss a bond or scam. Plus, you can house all your investments in one place and benefit expert investment advice. Contact us at brokerage@rfgroup.com to start doing more today. Some conditions apply. RF, money at work.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
All people are some cold people, but all people are the golden people. Them say all people are some cold people, but manners can you rule the world. Them say all people are some cold people, but all people are the golden people. Them say all people are some cold people. Respect the elders. Professional, no amateur. So let's see, I soldiers, them the pan patrol.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today on 96.9. Fresh news, smart talk all day. This is our diaspora talks here on Guardian Radio. We do it once a month. And our special guest in studio today, Cleaver Duncombe, Louis George. Am I saying it correct? Did I do it right?
That works, George.
George. And Ian Morrow.
Put a r on mine.
Yeah. The conversation off air is as hard as it is on here, but before harder, right? Before we go to the phone lines, Cleaver, you wanted to put something on the table regarding what was said earlier. You started to talk about law and order. I want you to just say that for the people and give that perspective, because I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, I was saying that I believe in law and order.
Yeah.
And when I speak in the context of just, okay? Mm-hmm. So we don't need to, I'm not talking no nonsense talk.
Yeah.
Okay? So when I speak, I mean, we had a law in our book.
Right.
Prior to me having a child born out of wedlock, state that the child had a mother and no father.
You know, I was going to ask you about that.
That's a stupid law.
Right.
I have to deal with that. And deal
all
with
law is not order.
Not exactly
all law is not
my
just.
point. All law is not just.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm speaking in the context of being just.
Okay.
I believe firmly that anyone coming into the Bahamas, visiting, should clear customs and immigration. Mm-hmm. We need to have a clear understanding. I mean, for budgetary purpose. We never had a real budget yet, because if you don't know who all is in the Bahamas, how could you set up a proper budget? You know? You're going to run into all sorts of incidents. Oh, I didn't know 400 people were on that side. Oh, I didn't know 300 people were in the bush that way. I didn't know. So you got to, for proper planning, you need to know who all are here. I mean, in your home. You can't feed your family if you don't know who all is in the house adequately.
But
you got to know.
Isn't that what the census does? The census doesn't do that?
No, the census don't ask you everything.
Okay.
They don't care whether you're here illegally or not. They don't ask you that question. They just want information. You know, we have children born in the Bahamas. We don't know whether they are black or white or Asian or whatever the case may be. I asked that question just at the Department of Statistics, just for arguments.
To see if they have it. Yeah.
Woman said, "No way, we don't do things like that."
Wow.
You know, so we don't
know.
We don't know. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, we have technology. We have everything at our disposal now for us to correct these things, and so we can do proper planning. I believe in proper planning. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So, with that being said, this is why we are running into so many problems. You have high unemployment, underemployment. I believe in things being scrutinized. Before I make a decision, I don't want to make a decision in a vacuum. I need to know why I'm making a decision and what will be the results of my decision. But people can live with this decision. People will feel hardship with this decision. What we are doing here now is creating a lot of hardship on the average Bahamian.
You know what he's describing, kind of something.
In terms of what?
Everything you would.
In terms of planning?
Canada.
In terms of having persons in your midst and not knowing how many persons, but yet still being able to develop, still being able to come out on top and being the world's greatest superpower. There's no country on earth that probably has more illegal migrants or migrants than the United States.
And what are they doing about it right now? This president, what is he doing about it?
What is he doing?
You don't see this mass deportation.
I see black and brown people being.
I don't care what. Look here. I
see mass importation also.
See, y'all always mix race
It's
up.
not being mixed
Y'all
up.
No,
mix it.
let me tell you why
Let
it's
me tell you.
important.
Let me tell you. I don't care what color you are if you're in the country
So
legally.
I
you
understand
should
that
go.
point. I understand that point.
Just keep. Let's.
But I also
clear.
want.
I don't watch color.
I also want you to be aware that in places like the United States, they have a president who prefers people who are not brown and black in the country based on his policies.
Propaganda.
That ain't propaganda. That's news.
Propaganda.
It's well documented.
Well documented.
You heard Trump said that he want all black people out.
I didn't say that.
What did he say?
I ain't more so what he does, not more what he's saying. He has brought in people from.
He said it about them.
Yeah.
No, this is what I heard Trump say.
Well, he called all us asshole countries. He called all us asshole countries.
No,
He said it about. He did say that.
That's another. This is what Trump said.
He didn't call us asshole countries?
No, he said Haiti was.
No. He called all us. He said all us as asshole countries.
You find it.
Okay.
But my point is this though.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump, like Cleaver Duncombe, believe that anyone coming to the Bahamas should be able to stand on their own feet.
Mm-hmm.
You should not come here. This is not a welfare country. We are not the welfare country of the world. If you come in here, you should be able to sustain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have a problem with that? Who in here in this room have a problem with that?
I have a problem with it.
Well, if you have a problem with that, then let them live with you. But you have a problem. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. But you want the country to sustain it. But you wouldn't do it.
NBC News said
that's
that.
what you want.
Listen,
NBC News during a closed door White House
That's
meeting.
mainstream media now.
That's why I'm reading it. I didn't go to Wikipedia
right.
where anybody could put it up. Propaganda and NBC.
Yes. They're mainstream media.
All I'm saying is
what he's gonna say about that, right? Because he's a Trumper,
right?
And the only mainstream news agency that is legitimate for those who follow Trump is Fox.
Okay.
No, not only Fox.
What else?
One American News.
Okay. See?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Is that Fox?
Let me read this.
Is that Fox?
Let me read this.
Fox
because
Fox
because the beautiful thing is this is on video too. Okay, they're saying something that's just written. Right? During a closed door White House meeting on immigration policy in January of 2018, Donald Trump reportedly used the phrase asshole countries to refer to Haiti, El Salvador, and various African nations.
The Bahamas is not?
No, I'm just saying as a
Okay,
people.
then. No, but you no.
As a people.
No.
As a people. No. Listen to my rationale. Because if you calling Africa an asshole country, you calling me an asshole because I come from Africa.
Right.
But if you allowing the foreigner to come in and dominate your people, then it is what it is. He say.
Let me say this. And
I support that.
Can I get in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're saying that he did not include the Bahamas, right?
No.
He did not include the Bahamas. And based on what Uncle said, I could see where you're coming from with that. But I just want to ask you now, when we talk about immigrants or illegal immigrants, we're basically saying they are turning the Bahamas into an asshole country.
When you look at
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But based on this, he is saying we are not. You can't have two.
No,
things
I'm
at
saying
the same time.
if we don't address
No,
people
but
living and defecating on our water tables.
You said
if you don't address these shantytown
You said it's already
situation.
happening in the schools. It's already happening in the
No, I didn't say that.
hospitals.
I didn't say that.
There are no beds. You said there are no beds.
Over,
Your niece and your daughter.
I'm
who
saying
are
that.
teachers said it's already happening.
I'm saying that we have approached.
And Fox News it
We have approached bottleneck situation where we are becoming.
No, it's not a bottleneck.
Let me try to get
It
a
is
caller.
not a-
Let
it
me
is
try to
not
get
a
a caller
bottleneck.
too in here because this is how
Luby just
doesn't
said
have to be.
there's lack of communication between the various government
Let me
agencies.
get a call in here.
That creates a bottleneck.
Is that a fault of the migrant?
323-325-4316-325-4259. The family violence 242-300-5720. Call you live. Go ahead, man. Don't laugh because you can get cut. You ain't got plenty time. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I want to applaud the host because he is probably one of the few persons who can have this cross section of personalities in the room at the same time and have a discussion.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, but I think I want to agree. I want to agree with Mr. Duncombe. Okay, because right now, I guess from since 2020, well, and before that, most immigration to America has been for the benefits of what is in America. Now, prior to that, folks, it was primarily education and like opportunities. But for some reason, a twist has happened now where folks come, where they migrate for the benefits that are in that country. Now, our country is no different. But what I would like to see among you four gentlemen, hopefully this discussion takes you all to an intersection. Because that may be the biggest responsibility that you all have right now. You all have to come to an intersection where there is a commonality, and it has to do regarding what is a citizen, what is responsibility of a person who calls themselves a citizen. I think I believe I think Mr. Georges, he could he could share that part of the discussion.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And Uncle.
Yeah.
I'm one family too, so.
Okay,
I got you back on that. But as far as everything else,
that's okay.
It's open season on you.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you so much for calling. The largest share of immigrants being allowed into America, both through permanent legal residence pathways and recent humanitarian arrivals, come from Mexico, Cuba, India, and China, is what the OECD is saying here in my quick research. Let me just get to another call before let me try it. You got 30 seconds, caller.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
I want to, first of all, salute the discussion.
Yeah.
Especially the gentleman from the program Shore. I want to also underscore that
Ian Moore.
President Donald Trump say that the white people in South Africa have been prosecuted. So you would like to welcome them open arms to America. I would also like to say that several of us Bahamians are living all over the world. That's in every country. And we go there for some of the similar reasons that some of the folks come here and stay and don't want to go anywhere else. Because there are better opportunities, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in America. So once again, I end on underscoring the point that the gentleman made from Program Shore.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got to run to a break, go to the news. When we come back, I think we have another quick guest coming in just to talk about something. I don't want to mention it in case he doesn't come, but he's supposed to come just to do a quick advert, and then we'll get back to the discussion. But keep it locked here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. Back after this.
Them say all people are some cold people, but all people are the golden people. Them say all people are some cold people, but manners can burn. Them say all people are some cold people, but all people.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Respect your elders. Respect your elders. It's a blessing from above. Them say all people are some cold people, but all people.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today here on 96.9 Fresh News Smart Talk all day. I am your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Unius III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Very lively discussion off air as well. This texter says, please note that several teachers have expired work permit. Often the employers are behind in paying up the national insurance previously deducted. Next thing, when renewed permit is issued, it has almost reached the expiration date. Yep. So this is what Luby was just talking about, the systems and things that are in place. As much as I don't think anybody in here disagree. However, I want Brother Ian to please, you said something off here that was so powerful about laws, about the fact that the country before 1834.
Yeah. Laws change all the time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, something that's very topical is that a Bahamian woman cannot transfer her nationality to her child in the same way or as easily as a Bahamian man can do it. And so we had a referendum to try and correct that. So laws are fluid over time, all right? And so this idea that many traditionalists hold, that it's static, this idea of just law and order being static, you have to constantly evaluate things to make sure that the laws you put in place are not creating chaos, but actually creating order.
And I want to go here under the CARICOM Enhanced Cooperation Protocol on Free Movement, 4 Caribbean nations officially removed visa and work permit restrictions for each other's citizens: Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This agreement builds upon the CARICOM single market and economy to test a framework for regional integration. So this is a test. This is a test. And it speaks to what Brother Ian Moore was saying, because, yes, laws will have to evolve. They will have to change based on what is necessary to maintain order. What say you, Cleaver?
Let's say that those countries that you named, what is their dollar in terms of 1-to-1 versus the US dollar again?
Well, Barbados is the closest. Barbados is 1-to-2.
How is our dollar at the value that it is now? And does that have to do with production in the same way that, like, you're kind of implying or trying to make an inference that migration can affect the value of the dollar?
Disorganized.
Hold on, no, remember, that isn't my question. My question was,
there are two types of
how
migration.
does the Bahamian dollar get its value?
You know,
the same one that Uncle was talking about.
I'm talking about.
In Barbados is 2-to-1, so it's two Barbados dollars to 1 US.
Yeah.
Belize is same 2-to-1. Dominica is 2.7-to-1. St. Vincent and Grenadines is 2.7-to-1.
And what I own is?
Well, it's 1-to-1.
Okay, then. So we're in a different category of people then. So they will try things more differently than us.
It's easy.
That's my point. We are 1-to-1. Let's keep it that way.
The value of our dollar is not based on the performance of our economy in the same way that industrialized countries that deal with agriculture, the value of the Jamaican dollar went down as a result of IMF influence to saying to them that if you reduce the value of your dollar, you will get more sales. Again, the same rich people who came in and made bundles off of colonialism, coming back again after colonialism had ended, which would be a neo-colonial era, ushered in by Bretton Woods institutions like the IMF and all of these guys that recommended things that weaken those countries' economies eventually.
To benefit their markets.
Exactly. Because when you are part of the World Bank and the IMF, it's, according to the UN, it's one country, one vote. With those institutions, it's $1, one vote. Your contribution determines your say. And so when they are sponsored by certain individuals, because we don't have the money to sponsor them, who do you think their prescriptions will eventually benefit? See, I'm not talking, that's why I started back where I started to speak into a continuum of what happened to us as black people, as black dominated countries, that led towards the situation that we are in now. When you had the general agreement on tariff and trade that dominated this region in the 70s and 80s, right after we all got independence. So we get independence and you have Cuba that are challenging status quo, and we see what happened with them. You have Jamaica with their social democracy, and we see what happened to them. We have Haiti, who was the first, and we see what happened to them. We had Grenada, the countries that took a path that led towards development. But because there were superpowers that have control over the world economy right now, every time we pick up our cell phone and we send a message, you sitting right there, but that message goes up into a satellite owned not by us, monitored not by us, and then it comes down to you who is sitting there. You understand? And so there's a level of control that people don't see.
Yes.
That we all hold ourselves accountable for. And this is what is causing the underdevelopment. This is if you have individuals like Sheikh Anta Diop, intellectuals like Walter Rodney, who all shared that these are the true culprits towards our underdevelopment.
Yes.
And if we really look at it, talking about the value of our dollar, the value of our dollar got that way. I mean, one time I was on a radio show and I get run out the whole station for saying this, but I can say it again anyhow.
We ain't gonna run you.
The value of our dollar was not based on our benefit. That's because our economy has been dominated for so long. Our tourism, most of the money doesn't stay here. The offshore banking. And so that value of that dollar that was pegged from way back then was not a result of our effort, but a result of outsiders wanting to not lose value in their return.
Yes.
You understand? So we can't look at that and beat ourselves on
we
the
didn't do
chest
that.
for that and then look at others without understanding what happened to the others and what happened to us. And what saved us is because we weren't agricultural. We weren't into exports. We were into services. And it just so happened that late in the 1990s, early in the 2000s, when those developed countries realized what was happening with the services, then they began to change the rules there. One time ago, gratuity was how our people in the hotel survived. I used to work in the bank, and their base salary wasn't enough for them to qualify for a loan. It was their base salary along with their tips. And they made so much on tips.
They could qualify.
Exactly. So what's happening now? This might be a little controversial, but the same program, Shaw President, Principal saying is EMR saying this part. These companies who are international companies, where they come from, they need higher profits. And they are now seeing ways to get more money out of people who they brought here. So as my cruise ship comes in, and I look at Junkanoo Beach, and I see hundreds of thousands of tourists there, I then say to myself, that's money. So let me do one on Paradise Island.
Or on a key.
Or on a key somewhere. As I bring the tourists here, let me say to them, Nassau is unsafe. So that they can spend more time on the cruise ship, and I get more money. It ain't nothing personal.
No.
That's business.
But who sets the rules in the Bahamas? Who sets the rules? Who make the rules in the Bahamas?
The developed countries, like those who are part of the OECD that got us to throw away a whole offshore industry. Those are the people who ultimately set the rules.
So we don't set our rules. As an independent nation, we don't set our rules.
The only rules that we set are the ones that they are comfortable with.
Let's run to the phone lines right
Powerful.
quick. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Caller, you live. Caller going once. Trying to get y'all in. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, you live.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for calling.
Yes, how are you?
I am well, man.
Yeah, I'm listening to your show.
Thank you so much. You're live.
Yeah, I normally listen to your show.
Thank you.
I'm listening to the two gentlemen speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it from a point of view. We're not a poor country.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to the budget debate and what money is being, nobody's controlling that. We control that.
You saying we Bohemians, you're saying?
Yes.
The Bohemians, the government control that. Controls those
But
funds.
we couldn't make a decision on Cuban doctors like 2 days ago, though. I put that in the air
I mean,
quotes.
that's an international.
No, but this is our country. We supposed to be making the rules.
That's an international mechanism.
We wanted
that
the
is going
Cubans to come
around.
fix eyes, and they say, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, because we're not in,
Now we need 300
we can't control
Yeah.
Cuba. We can't control that. We can only control the Bahamas. We can only control what we have. If we are asking for persons to come in, all is saying, yeah, bring them in, but just do it the right way. But as I was saying, when we control the monies that come here, we are the party that deals with our own thing. I'm sorry to say this, but we treat each other like animals. We don't really treat each other like we ought to. The amount of money that comes through this country, and we have a very small nation. We have I'll round us off to about 300,000. And come on, man, we could do better. We could do better for each other. We can't be dependent on other people to do for us. Other people have entities have their goals and they have their objectives. They have their plans to do what they want to do or what they have to do for their nation. We have to be more self-sufficient. We got to be more cognizant of what we have and our own people. Nobody's going to do nothing for us, Nobody's going to lift us out of the muck and the mire. We have to do it ourselves. We got to tighten our own bootstraps and make things happen. If we don't do it, then it'll look like we are being taken advantage of. But we have the resources, we have the wherewithal, we have the knowledge to do better for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't take it.
Okay, well, I appreciate that perspective. We want to get some more calls in. That caller is saying, hey, man, we got the power. It's on us. All right, let's see what this next caller says. Caller, you live. Caller going once. I hope we didn't miss you. I'm so sorry. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, you live.
Hey, yeah, good afternoon, man, to you and your guests. That's a
Good
powerful
afternoon. Mm-hmm.
topic you're on today.
Yes, sir.
Brother Duncan,
Yes, sir.
I am with you. My thing is like this. If you have a house and you have rats in your house,
Why,
you
Lord?
have termite in your house, you have a big snake behind the tub in the bathroom, and you have some centipede up under one bed, but you only seeing the termite biting out all the boxing and all of the face board and thing in the house, and all of this, all that. What you gonna deal with it?
But you could see it.
But you can see.
I hear you.
Now we have Jamaicans here, we have Haitians here, we have Chinese here, we have Cubans here, we have the Guyanese here, we have the Greeks here. But you listen to the news, then it's time to go to court every morning. You don't get every year no shing ching or no Rampersad as a Greek or no Melis as a Greek. You ain't got to be able to go to court. So we have to deal with the people who putting the burden on us. Now, I ain't saying, they should be here, they're here illegal, But let's deal with what giving us this problem. When we go to the hospital, you don't see no Greeks sitting down, laying down, having no baby in there. You don't see no Chinese in there. I don't know where it is.
Which hospital you go to?
Princess Margaret.
All right. There's another hospital here, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You can see some people in the hospital.
Go to the hospital. You see them there. And that's what I bet you go on the PMX for a reason.
Yeah. In Palmdale Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they go into quietness and they're not a burden on us. We have to deal with what's bothering us first.
I like the point.
Under control,
let me say this, caller.
And deal with the other part.
Let me say this, caller. I like the point that you're making because from your perspective, I think you share a perspective that many people have, okay, which is to say that whatever I perceive to be the problem is the problem. Whatever I could see. Now, that may not be necessarily true, but because that's what I see, then automatically I say, hey, that's the problem. I only see the boxing being eaten out by the termites.
And the rat biting up the bread when you put it on the counter.
Okay, so
dealing with that.
Yeah, but when you go to, if you don't see the snake behind, if you don't see the snake behind the tub and the centipede behind the thing. Right, but I mean, I'm just saying, I like the point that you're making because I think we in this country, unfortunately, are not able to necessarily see the full workings of what's going on. And that's what I hear from Brother Ian Moore. There are forces outside of the country that we don't necessarily see, that we cannot see unless we do some...
or we don't want to see.
Or we don't want to see. Right, unless we do some real research or have these type of discussions where the thought of there being outside forces could even be brought into the discussion. So I'm happy that you brought that up because I think I don't think at the end of the day any of us want to see the Bahamas to be run over by any other nationality.
No,
we want Bahamas to be first. Yeah, I'm with that. But so I thank you. Go ahead and then we got another caller to catch up with.
No, I'm finished.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that perspective, sir. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Let me get this one call and we could jump back in. Caller, you're live.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing well. Good afternoon.
Mr. Duncan, I heard you talk about proper planning for the Bahamas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Listen, let me give you a prime example. The great United States of America, right? Didn't they have proper planning?
So do you? So let me ask you before you get into this.
Why are you so combative?
Answer the question first.
He came on respectful.
Why don't you all
answer the question? It was a very simple question.
He said you up.
I'm going to answer the question, but all I want to find out from the caller is this though: do you believe in proper planning?
You don't answer a question with a question.
No, Luby.
Yeah, most definitely.
I will be able to. His answer will be able to will determine how I'll be able to answer.
Listen, if you go right in Atlanta, right. Mm-hmm. There are many counties around Atlanta look worse than New Providence. Okay,
mostly Democrat states.
It's
still the U.S. Democratic states.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
No, sir.
When you talk about proper planning, look at all those abundant counties in America right now.
So you were saying that to say what?
It's more than just proper planning. You know. It's really the truth about it. Is all about economics. Okay, you can have proper planning all you want.
I said
right?
structured. I said structured proper planning. Structured.
And at the end of the day, if your economy go downstream on you, with all the proper planning, you can't stop those places from being abundant. You can't stop that. Mr. Duncan.
No, don't say that. Don't come on national radio and make those statements because I'm not gonna. Don't insult my intelligence by making those. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing because.
No, sir. No, with all due respect, you made the accusation of proper planning. You know, I'm trying to explain to you it's bigger than just proper planning.
I'm saying to you.
Here in the Bahamas, I think we need to create our own system of governance. Me personally believe that we already outgrown the Westminster system. It's time for the Bahamas to take the best portion of the Westminster, the federal, the republic, the democratic system, and create our own system of governance where we could start afresh, okay? Because we're talking about proper planning. How could you proper plan with an old system like what we have?
Can you build a wall? Let me ask you a question. Can you build a wall right now in the Bahamas, a 50-foot, 50-yard wall, however you want to call it? Can you build it without a plan? I'm just trying to establish it. Can you build it without a plan?
You could if you're a contractor. You could.
No.
Okay.
No. In most cases, you can't. You need a plan. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Right now, we don't have a national development plan. Everything is done through basically ad hoc. So you expect anything to be different?
No, it ain't that.
That's a big part of what we are dealing with. We don't have a plan.
But it's still back to our system. We have to first start with the system. Okay? If you have laws on the book from 1800 and something, how do you expect to apply those laws to the reality?
That's my point I'm trying to make, caller. We need a plan.
Yes, but I'm saying to you it's more than just a plan.
These colonial laws will always be here on our books.
So you agree we should update these colonial laws?
Of course. That's why that's what gave me some notoriety. When I challenged the Affiliation Proceedings Act, which led to the successful passage of the Child Protection Act. I don't believe in I believe, like I said, I believe in structure, systematic planning is very, very, very important to me. But you cannot run a country and expect not to have chaos without proper planning.
Hey, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
I would like for you and the rest of the co-hosts in there this afternoon. Go on YouTube. Just put in abundant counties in America, and you will see what proper planning did. What they call proper planning back in the day.
No. What you will see, caller, you will see what happens when you fail to continue on with proper planning. That's what you will see.
Proper planning, but it still ties in with the economy, regardless of what you're saying, Mr. Duncan.
I support proper planning, and it always seems like you don't.
Go ahead, Ian.
So America does proper planning, right? So from 2008, America has been doing this proper planning.
Not only America.
Hold on, I'm using that as an example. Let's stick on this road rather than trying to jump on another road, right? So America has been doing this great planning. And I'm not saying it to knock them. But from 2008, they've been trying to revive their economy. They realize that it's been in trouble. And through proper planning, they decided to do something called quantitative easing, which pretty much put money in the hands, especially after the crash, the recent crash, when all those big name banks went down.
When Obama had to step in.
They put money into the economy because the plan was, once we get these entities, these big name entities going, then that would be the panacea. And it isn't just Obama that's been doing that. That's been happening from then. Even Trump still uses this idea of quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. With all that he is talking about, when you put it in the framework of quantitative easing, then you understand that he is still, through their planning, all those people that they have there, the federal government, the Federal Reserve, but with all of their planning, they cannot revive that economy, which is why Trump was able to get elected, because what they were doing is not reviving the economy. So this idea of planning doesn't have to be within the framework of taking away from people. When you have, I agree with planning. Like, even though the premise of what you're saying we might disagree with, right? But we can't throw the baby with the bathwater. We can't knock the idea that planning is necessary. However, when that planning is disingenuous, when that planning does not factor in everything, it's not a plan for equity.
Well, I support you. Well, I'll be an idiot to disagree with that statement that you're making.
Exactly.
You know,
so the reality is, hear what I'm saying. So part of our underdevelopment, part of why things cost so much, part of the challenges that we face with regards to growing the economy, even food security, is population size. That's one of the major things.
You mean as far as scale? We don't have scale? Is that
we don't have scalability because our population size is small.
We don't want to join with Belize and what's the name of the country is?
No, but watch this now.
Yes.
These individuals that are coming in, right? Just how you said we had the contract.
Yes.
If these individuals are coming in and we have an arrangement similar to that, that's fair. Then it could lead, the planning can lead towards our development that is inclusive of using the resource that we have. We have to see this as a resource as opposed to a problem. These are the individuals that are coming in, just like how the Latinx is a resource to the United States. And so when Trump initially said, we getting rid of them all, then he had to scale back and say, those who working in the hotels are with them. Those who working in agriculture, we're not going to touch them, because these are immigrants who are adding value based on what their needs are. So it's not a matter of immigrant or not. It's a matter of how do we use the resources, whether it's in country, out of country, how do we do it in a way that reduces our vulnerability?
And we're not using it properly. As a matter of fact,
I agree with that there.
You know, we're not using it properly. When you look at what is happening here now, we don't know how many persons we have here on work permit. Some may say 40,000, some may say 50,000, but we don't really know.
Luby say we know.
We 100%
How could
know.
you not know?
I want
to
a
say
government
that.
department that is collecting revenue, that is issuing these ID cards.
What I think
you may not know, I may not know.
But there's somebody who knows.
No,
the department knows. The government knows.
I can help Cleaver. I can help Cleaver. What I think what
population-
he's saying, right, is that you can't count the illegal people.
No, we're not
So-
talking
so
about
I'm
them.
not talking about
We're not
illegal
talking
people.
about
No,
them.
work permit.
We're talking about the persons who
Go on through the
that's like-
process.
that's like saying
No, man,
road
you-
traffic
you could
department
count
doesn't know how many legal drivers we have on the road right now.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Legal
because,
drivers.
See, because of time.
That's like saying
because
that.
of time, right? Because of time. Let's the average Bahamian do not know exactly how many work permits we have out there.
All right, what would you do with that information?
Now, with that information,
Right. How does
if
that
I
benefit
know,
you?
if I know how many persons are here on work permit, then I would be able to make better decisions in terms of recruitment. For example, you are persons
So you don't
right
think
now,
the government knows?
It doesn't seem so.
But from
It
a
doesn't
personal
seem
level,
so. It
because you're
doesn't
saying
seem
the
so.
average person doesn't know. What does the average person do with this little piece of information or big piece of information to better themselves?
For one, if we have a clear and concise understanding about how many persons we need, how many persons we will need in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
That is from the country level.
Yes, from a country level.
But we're saying again,
from
the government knows though.
But what I'm saying is, if they know, they're not sharing it.
Okay,
You agree?
and when they share it,
Huh?
what does this do
Huh?
for the average individual is what I'm asking.
There are a lot of
like
the talk-
genuinely asking.
You know, you see, you're trying to confuse me, and
No,
you know, because my point is this.
Are you saying-
this is the point I'm trying to make? Right now, we have scores of persons who on work permit who is working outside the purview of their work permit.
I could agree there.
They're sending-
should not
you know,
be the case.
which should not be the case.
I agree
So,
there.
so one can easily conclude that the government does not know when you see this nonsense happening.
No.
When you look,
I can't agree with that.
when you look, if the government know, then they're not doing nothing to correct this. When you look at what is happening now, you don't have us. You have persons here on work permit who came here to do gardening. And by the way, we should abolish and discontinue, like some other countries, the unskilled work permit. I'm nonsense. We don't need no more unskilled people coming to the Bahamas on work permit. We have outgrown that. The days for that has come and gone. When you look at what is happening now, you have persons working outside their work, their preview of their work permit. They're opening up shops. They're competing against tax-paying Bahamian who have legitimate businesses to run, and they're doing a bunch of nonsense throughout the inner city. And I'm not just targeting no one demographic of persons. You have the Chinese, the Africans, everyone here seems to be doing their own thing to the disadvantage of the average everyday Bahamian.
But those business owners, how do you know that they're work permit holders?
Bro,
Could they be spouses of Bahamians? Could they be permanent residents?
Whatever.
Or are you saying
is.
that's how you would use the information?
Yes. Well, for proper planning.
Or to be able to say, hey, these people over here, they are on work permit for something else, but they're opening up a store, but you're competing against my store, and I don't think that's fair. And now I have ammunition to go to the proper authorities. Is that what you're saying?
That too.
Do they get business license?
That too. Excuse me. Look here, Uncle. We know what's happening here in the Bahamas, okay? We know exactly what is happening. So I'm not going to let Luby try to.
No, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. You talk about rule and order. You talk about law and order, right?
Yes. You don't see it every day.
Persons on a work permit are not eligible to apply for certain things. So I'm asking if you know it. Then I know a work permit owns a business.
That's your business. But if you go,
and if you know of any, why don't you report?
Right now, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, they are known to have these makeshift, homemade, home-based businesses, shops, right in their home selling. They're doing all kind of nonsense on these work permits, which should not happen. If you come here to do gardening, that's exactly what you will be doing. If you come here to be a maid, that's exactly what you'll be doing. But right now, we have complete disorganized.
And how do you ensure that if you came here for
because
let's just say,
one, you don't have them. You don't have.
Let me finish the question,
but you know this is happening in the upper echelon as well.
Yes, wherever it's happening. But what I'm saying is we need to control it. Mm-hmm. We need to correct it
across the board.
So straight across the board.
If Anku brings in a migrant to be a gardener, for example,
yes,
to be a gardener, what measures do you put in place to ensure that gardener is doing the gardening at Anku's residence?
And he might be doing a good job, but he may have another job because I mightn't be paying him enough.
But that is the
function.
But that isn't how these work permits.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying the reality of
how do you ensure that he is doing that?
You see, by policing it properly.
So police every property, every house, every residence, every.
We only have 40,000 people here in the Bahamas. So we can do it.
How many homes are Nassau alone properties?
I don't understand the base of your question, but my only point is
that's when you can police it. You gotta know.
You see, now, my thing is
coming from a position that suggests that the Department of Immigration and its enforcement team are not doing this.
No, they're not doing it. They are
with the amount of immigration officers that we have in this country, the resources available, individual manpower available, they are doing this on a daily basis. Do you know how many officers we have on the enforcement unit? You probably don't.
Look here, we see them.
How many people are lining up to become immigration officers?
We see them. Look here. If you going to check, look here. These foolish way of just going into businesses. Let me see your work permit. Let me see this.
But that's how
nonsense.
You do it.
That is not how you do it.
You check it.
For example, if you check this,
you check the sponsor name on the back. You check the scope of work on the back.
Can I tell you how to do it?
If it says
you how to do it,
and you're in this restaurant.
Can I tell you how to do it?
Clearly, you're the scope of your work.
Can I tell you how to do it?
So you can't dismiss that totally.
If the government know, for example, everyone who wants work permit should be documented. It is documented, definitely. Right? And recorded, right?
I agree.
So you check to see whose work permit is valid before you hit the streets? You have to go there and you have to go out and ask person to let me see these things? You should be able, if you know how many people you on work permit, then we should be able to check them before you leave the office. So you know exactly where you go in when you hit the street.
According to ZNS.
You follow what I'm saying?
The Bahamas has a total force of roughly 400 to 500 active immigration officers. 400 to 500.
And we have about 50,000 or 60,000 persons on work permit, right?
Probably.
And that's enough? And that's enough officers? That's what you're saying, Luby?
Let's run to the phone lines here.
I said that's enough officers?
You same said that's what you said.
I said
he's saying they know how many
I said they know how many work permits.
Anku. These work permits.
So you're saying we need more officers?
I'm saying that we need to have a systematic approach on how you're going to go. We don't need no more. We don't need no more publicity.
Let's run to the phone line quickly.
Check the work permit before you leave the office, so you know exactly where you're going to and which business you're going to target.
Call you live.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Uncle. Hey, Mr. Duncombe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. I know the point you're trying to raise. Because in my opinion, the whole what is called a work permit situation today is flawed, right? Just like how you indicated, right? A lot of people might deny it, right? But we have most of the persons wherever they are working, right? They don't have the work permit. Possibly do not say that. We have a law. When you bring in people into this country to work, you're supposed to provide a place for them to live, which is not carried out, right? So because that part of the law is not carried out, people could come to this country, right? And because the person who has the work permit is not liable for or responsible for them, they have a work permit, and like you were saying, you could have a work permit to weed my yard. You came to the country to be my gardener. So I phone for your living accommodation, so that in the event when the immigration who has this information that hey John Lewis or John Doe he works for Uncle, and Uncle lives to Peter Street. So the immigration now don't have to be going to Atlanta to look for John Doe. The immigration could go to Uncle's residence where John Doe's supposed to be stationed, right? And if John Doe or Uncle can't give an account for John Doe, it's supposed to be consequences. And that's why the country is being run the way it is, because there is no consequences for illegality in this country. So people are, and this is no disrespect and no nationality. Mm-hmm. The first thing any nation does, and don't care who they are, is protect self. Mm-hmm. Nation ain't supposed to be, no nation bending over backwards to make sure another nation is more secure in their nation. That is ludicrous, and that's how we've been operating for quite some time in this country, and it has to come to an end, because the sovereignty of the Bahamas belongs to the Bahamian.
Hey, caller, let me say this very quickly. You don't want to go in Singapore and overstay your time for 1 day or 1 hour.
With their studio, Cleveland.
You don't want...
With their studio.
Key in your backside. Key in your backside. See, but in the Bahamas, we are a big joke. We have a big joke. You know this for an immigration officer, right? To leave the headquarters, going into the streets, helter-skelter, looking for people who they believe... all kind of racial... They're going on the bus. Let me see this. You should know exactly who you're looking for by checking the status of the work permit.
The work permit should identify...
You follow?
Where everybody...
So it's obvious they don't know who all is in the country.
The work permit should identify that.
Thank you, Gola. Appreciate it.
I don't agree with the they don't know part. But I get his point, though.
No, according to the official data published by the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, BNSI, the Bahamas issues between 12,000 and 18,000 work permits to new applicants annually.
Wow.
Okay?
That's a lot.
12,000 to 18,000 new, and this is Bahamas National Statistical Institute.
So that's new ones.
New. Well, this
on top of what already exists.
Well, so my understanding is this is the annual. The latest official reporting cycles. These are the cycles. The latest official reporting cycles provide a clear statistical breakdown of work permits approved by the Bahamas Department of Immigration. So for 2024, a total of 14,134 work permits were issued. 2023, a total of 12,088 work permits were issued. 2022, a total of 18,028 work permits were issued, representing a massive post-pandemic surge in economic activity. In 2021, a total of 859 work permits. Economic activity, yes.
And no additional classroom space, no additional bed space, no additional nothing. So, but yet some are still saying that we don't have a bottleneck approach. A bottleneck situation right here now. We have a bottleneck situation because we don't do this thing properly. And then another thing too, we treat these work permits like citizenship. We let people stay on these work permits for 15, 20, 30, 40 years. What nonsense are we doing in the Bahamas? It should be a 7-year period, bro. And after your 7-year period, your time is up.
Or can you go and reapply again?
And then you can reapply, or we bring in someone different. But you don't need to be here more procreating, putting babies all over the place. And if you get pregnant on a work permit, you go home to have that baby. You don't have that baby. That shouldn't be the Bahamas' problem. We are not the welfare state of the world. And that's what we treat that's what we treat the Bahamas as, to the detriment of our citizens. And it should never happen.
I want to get comment from our other panelists. If there's any comment. Otherwise, we can go to the phone lines.
Yeah. And that was a little hot debate that kind of went
over your headache.
Out above my pay grade.
Pay grade, okay.
Yeah, But just on Singapore. So you say Singapore is doing it right?
Yes, you don't want to overstay that.
Hold on, wait. They're doing it right. But if you check, the average Singaporean is facing the same challenge that Bahamians are.
Yeah, beginning.
But after having done it, all your planning, your this, your that, your that. Hold on.
You keep emphasizing on planning. Let
him get his point across.
I'm as I sat and allowed you to express yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a reflection on you. It's a response to what you're saying. I often hear Bahamians talk about the great Singapore. You know, I'm not.
That's the model.
That's the model.
I'm not on that bandwagon because Singapore's rise is similar to the Bahamas' rise through tourism and offshore banking. The average Singaporean gets what's left, while foreigners who are in the tech industry dominate, and it's gotten so far till the average Singaporean goes to Malaysia to spend money because Singapore is so expensive.
Wow.
See, these are the parts of the great narrative about these places that you know, and so if they are doing what he said and it leads to the same outcome, then to me,
who was the plan for?
No, it's leading.
How do we model ourselves?
And they're now taking steps to correct it. We are not taking any steps to correct nothing.
What steps are they taking to correct it? What steps are they taking to correct it?
They realize that they're having a problem. That's the first step. You're realizing, the government is realizing that they're having a problem. We never realized that we have no problem. We don't realize we have, as far as everyone is concerned about, things are good.
But
despite you see the homelessness in people,
what are they doing?
Despite,
what are they doing? What are they doing?
I'll get back to you on that, okay? I have no problem saying that I don't know.
Let's go to the phone line. Let's go to the phone line.
See, my phone can't open.
Oh, you want Google on me? You want cheat? You want cheat?
Bring the
argument. I just kidding.
Let's go to the phone lines. Call you live.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. Yes, Mr. Duncombe, you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
making a lot of sense. Continue to hold your ground, and I have your back. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you so much for calling, caller. Let's get another caller in here before we wrap up. Let me see if they're ready to go. Caller, you're live.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Great, man. Thanks for calling.
It's a good conversation you're having.
Thank you.
But let me start with this. First of all, you got to blame our government for all this situation here. Because they have the opportunity to go and legislate on the BNB people's behalf, which they don't. They say that they only legislate when it comes down to the oligarchs and who's spending the most money. So we as a people need to stand up and demand more.
Okay.
Now, my thing about this illegal thing, we need real leadership inside there to deal with this, because when you look at people could just walk up to your immigration and apply for citizenship and get it, that's a problem, bro.
So you've seen that?
Out country when you apply for this thing.
You've seen that?
Huh?
You've seen that happen in the country where...
Always. Always, bro. And Luby in there. You do what you call what's the word I'm looking for now? Anyhow.
He's an immigration consultant.
He's a consultant,
Right. Right. You should know exactly what's going on inside there. If you say you really know what you're supposed to be doing in there. My thing is this, though. We need to have an audit on how much people you're beginning these work permits to. every year.
Who's y'all?
He don't give permits to people.
No, I'm talking about the country. I mean,
Okay.
We just got to make that clear, because people can hear something else.
Yeah.
Right? And to be honest with you, I always hear them say, oh, these people don't know the country they come from because they born here and they ain't been here. And they always say, Aunt Bames is going to the U.S. But let me tell you something. If you go in the U.S. when you was young and you ain't never get straight, you ain't go to this country, you know. But guess what you get kept? You get sent back to this country because you got family here. So what they need to do is grab all and carry them back. I don't care who don't know the country. They got family there. They can learn the country just because they learn this country. We need to start cleaning this country up for Bahamians, bro.
I appreciate the call. Let's get to the next caller quickly. I think they're on the cell phone.
Uncle, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the guests.
Hey, good afternoon, sir.
I support you wholeheartedly as the other guests. The other callers have also done.
Mm-hmm.
You are making a lot of sense. What you are speaking to is the conversations that's being had on the street by many Bahamians who are ignored, that our representatives in Parliament apparently are not taken seriously. Persons out there who are pro this and pro that, but not pro Bahamian. Listen, there is something that is terribly wrong with our laws. Let me tell you something. I asked a question already. The information that comes from our new Department of Statistics, can anyone prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that information is totally accurate? There are many Bahamians out there that's questioning the information that comes out of that department, you know.
But that's what we have to work with.
I am not here, let me say this before I move on. I am not here to disparage or anything. I am only telling you what is being said on the ground. Because there are many cases and incidences where the information that is purported to have come from that agency has been questionable in the public domain.
So how is the regular Bahamian getting any type of what information are they using to gain a perspective then?
That is just it. Now you're getting get to the crux of what I'm trying to say.
So it seems like there's a lot of sip, a lot of gossip.
There's a lot of sip out here and a lot of speculation out here because a lot of it has been coming from the representatives that represent us, where the Bahamians are asking for accurate information from our leaders and we are not getting it.
Okay.
Okay? And you see, people like me, a lot of times when I speak to what is being said on the ground. I bring it to the public airwaves so the Bahamians can understand that these conversations are being had on the ground. It's not here to be sinister, and it's not here to be anti-government. It is here that these are the conversations that obviously not get into the ears of our leaders, those who we have elected in our parliament, or if they are getting it, they are ignoring with the rationally thinking people on the ground, the conversations that's being had under these tamarind trees, dilly trees, bar rooms, and barber shops. These conversations need to become a part of the conversation that we can help to fix this country. And Cleaver, you continue the path, because guess what? A lot of what you have espoused on this program is what is being said out here on the ground.
All right.
And the Bahamian people, in closing, we are the government, not those who sit in our parliament and not the leaders in this country. The Bahamian people are the government. And until we could get that right and turn this tub back on the right side, this country is not going to get any better, because we feel as if our feelings are being ignored as Bahamians. Okay? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you so much. What I find interesting is that, yes, Cleaver, you got your fan base out there. Well done. But what I want to say is, you all also agreeing with Ian Moore, whether you know it or not, because he started the show by saying we are in this predicament because we have held on to systems that are failing. So when you say that the government isn't doing what they're supposed to do, or the statistics may not be right, that is all a part of a failing colonial model that we have held on to. The values, that is exactly how Ian Moore started the show.
Yeah, that which is true. But then we are not really, I wouldn't even say we are holding on to this thing, because they don't even know some of these laws exist themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to know what they are first in order to hold on to something. Or to let go of something. Many of them don't even know what's there.
I hear this argument, right?
Uh-huh.
I hear this argument, and I try to listen to people to hear what they real. There's the emotion.
Yeah.
There's the passion. Then there's the content.
Okay.
And the content, when you strip away the passion and
the emotion,
is a common trend. I'm being left out. I'm not feeling heard or having access to the people that have the power. So I'm not a part of the discussions where these things are happening. So I'm not being heard. I'm being disempowered, and I'm feeling, especially coming off of the tourism boom, I'm feeling the decline, not just mentally in discussions, I'm feeling the decline. When I used to drive my taxi and I could make a certain amount of money, now I'm driving my taxi and I'm suffering. Like, to me, we have to hear the content, and it's not about changing their minds.
Right.
It's about addressing the content of what they are saying, not the passion. They're all saying the same thing, you know. And what ends up happening, why it would feel like Cleaver or Mr. Duncombe, as his fans refer to him as, why it would feel like he has a fan club. It's not that he necessarily has a fan club. He is representing how people actually feel. But I have a question though. We have a whole political entity that represented that now, right? COI. What if this is how the majority of people feel, and there was a political party that represented that? This is the part I can't answer. Why is it that they aren't having more success?
You see, because look, when you're talking COI, this right? They didn't have no immigration policy. They had a Haitian policy. That's two totally different things.
And that's different from what you're doing?
See, when I speak immigration, didn't you hear me say that?
Yeah,
I qualified myself by saying that when that African ship, transatlantic slave ship left Africa, that maiden ship, you didn't hear me qualify my position?
Yeah, you did. You did. I remember.
I basically oppose illegal migration. Color is blind. Race is blind to me when it comes to illegal migration. You hear me?
You either legal or you're illegal. That's all you care about.
Straight up. Whether you're Chinese, whether you're Venezuelan, whether you're American, it don't make a difference to me. I'm not caught up on that nonsense. I'm looking out for...
And you think they are?
Who? Who's
the COI?
No, I'm saying that they had a Haitian policy. They were targeting... Everything they speak about it was the Haitian. What about the Africans? What about the Chinese? What about the Jamaicans?
So
what about the whoever else here who was here illegally?
You think they would have more success if they
had an immigration policy, not a Haitian policy? Okay. That's the principal difference between me and them.
Let's try to get one more call in before we get out of here. Caller, you live.
Thank you, gentlemen. C. Alan Johnson. Just let me say that when you talked about knowing who's in the country, we have technology for that. With a national ID system, you could actually know who's working. You could actually almost deputize every policeman. Because when you put penalties for the fact that if somebody works for you, you pay the $5,000 or $10,000 penalty, and anybody reporting a person illegally working get 20%. Guess what? You just got 200,000 immigration officers at every working place. But what we have is the coloniality of power, where power remains concentrated to structures originally designed to govern, classify, and extract rather than democratize ownership. And so that is the problem we have when we talk about governance. But when you look at what we can do in light of the information available to us, where we can be able to judge, and this is where I'm not Cleaver fan. I agree with him. How do you school when you don't know the thing? You say you got $15,000 a year permit, right? Where is the apartments that align with those individuals who should be housed? Where is the count for the children who should be in school if they are with them? Where is the hospital accommodations, the structure? And say you cannot manage what you cannot measure. And you cannot measure that which you refuse to acknowledge or simply deny. We have been in a case of denial, and we see it in our senses where we deliberately omitted parts of a census where the rest of the world has adopted or we have even used in the past. Why are we afraid to confront that which we need to manage?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, we're flat out of time. Cleaver Duncombe, Louis George, Ian Mora.
All right. And that's Duncombe, eh?
Yeah. Cleaver Duncombe. Listen, this is one of the most, I don't want to just say fun. I really enjoyed the show today.
This was a good one.
I really enjoyed the show today. And I know we're going to have to do it again at some point. But thank you, listeners. Thank you, callers. Thank producer Chris Penniman. The Talking Heads are up next. Naughty and MJ. So keep it locked here on 96.9. Guardian Radio. Again, my name is Dr. Cleveland W. E. News III. The Master Family.
Soldiers, them on patrol. Tell them me and the ancestors, them around. Rasta man not deal with Babylon, them cold. He keep a shall not slumber nor sleep. Too long.